ToonGrin.com.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Well, at least this mirror genie didn't have a racist Indian accent. Hello everyone and welcome back to Cartoon Corner. Hey, have you heard of an old German folk hero named Till Eulenspiegel?
For those who are unaware, the character of Till is a folk hero dating back to the 1300s. The stories present Eulenspiegel as a rambunctious trickster, keeping the uppity people humble through jokes, pranks, and scatological humor. Basically, Till is the ideal lead character for all those terrible kids movies I mentioned in my Paddington review. Now that may be a bit too harsh, as many classic folk heroes have gotten great treatment in animated form, like Paul Bunyan, Pecos Bill, and who could forget the amazing folk adventures of the Magical Voyage that crafted the epic tale of Christopher Columbus, who thought the world was square until he met a talking woodworm named Pico, who helped him discover the truth to save a princess from a demonic creature known as the Swarm Lord.
Oh, America, you and your wacky histories. But besides the horrible genocide and stupidity, let's take a gander at the Pooh Jester himself. This is Jester Till.
From the creators of Prince of Egypt and Road to El Dorado, we have this cover that's basically aping DreamWorks. As Till does the DreamWorks eyebrow, we got this campy owl going.
Oh wow, what magical adventure will be going on today?
And then we have the remaining cast shoved way into the back, no doubt suggesting their importance. As a cover though, this is overall a little bit too dull. I need something substantial to comment on. Let's look at the back.
Sweet Googa Mooga!
Oh, that is much better in the worst way. Gotta love how the horse has the same coke-snorting face that the producers made before working on this film. And you need to be on some sort of good stuff to make a promotional blurb of Europe's most expensive animated feature.
Doesn't that seem a bit childish? That because you put a lot of money into this, that it just equates into higher quality.
It's like going to a burger place and their most expensive burger was 2 soggy bits of bread sandwiched between some uncooked meat. Make it as expensive as you want, but that crud burger is going in the bin.
But again, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. Let's just see this cutting-edge animation in Europe's most expensive animated feature.
Greetings, city people. Are you ready for some fun? I've come around to spread a bit of sun. For my name is Till Eulenspiegel, full of little tricks and games, and I'll tell you, many people call me many different names.
Perfect.
So this is what a £15 million budget can get you, huh? I know money can't solve all your problems, but it may have at least solved the animation problem. Nevertheless, the story begins with the flamboyant owl Cornelius as he fights with some crows in a no-nonsense sort of way. He does this so he can get a feather for medieval wizard Doc Brown.
Oh, Marty, my rights are being infringed.
Marcus here is using the feather in his latest experiment to make something special for his grandson Till, and Cornelius asks what it actually does.
Yes! You know how he always likes to help people and make them happy?
Oh.
To the side, to the side, to the side.
Sure.
One drop will make everybody happy and give them eternal life.
Whoa! Is it really a smart idea to entrust such an important brew to the human embodiment of ADD?
Next time, I walk.
But sense is about as rare in this movie as a cohesive story. So Marcus continues making this brew when he suddenly gets an evil extra helping hand.
Oh! No, Cornelius, you idiot! The green one, not the... Ah!
Now don't worry, the demon will never be explained at all, so let's move on.
So as Marcus disappears or is incinerated, the movie is very unclear about which, we cut to Till himself gesturing his way into the town of Boomstat.
Eat 26 onions and come and see me in the morning for some bloodletting.
26 onions, no water, bloodletting.
Thank you. Thank you, good sir.
Don't mention it.
This will be the only time he actually uses his gesturing skills constructively. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so Till with his wacky antics makes his way into town so he can visit his grandpa, but Cornelius comes down and tells him the bad news.
Marcus has disappeared! Disappeared? As in really disappeared? You've got to help me find him! Okay, we'll find him. But I'm sure it's just one of his tricks. This time it's serious! Hey, what's all the excitement? Till, please listen, this is not a trick! He is really lost, Till!
Excuse me, might I replay a clip from literally 5 minutes ago?
Yes! You know how he always likes to help people and make them happy?
Nah, sorry, Pop, you might be being tortured by demons getting pictures in your second-degree burn bum, but I gotta go back for some randoms. Love you, sorta, kinda, maybe, not really, bye. So our increasingly lovable hero goes to heckle people about their presence at the king, which they put all their blood, sweat, tears, and money into. But judging by that jarring CGI, maybe that effort was misplaced.
Happy birthday, Your Royal Highness. Happy birthday to you.
Awful.
So the town's burgermeister reigns in the celebration as they prepare their present for the king, which was developed by his daughter Nayla, spelt with an E and pronounced with an A because f*** you. Nayla is an aspiring architect and the only female lead in Till's age range, so she's been designated the role of love interest. And since this is the Dark Ages and treating women like people is, well, a luxury, she will also serve as Till's...
Yeah, that's historically accurate, right?
Now, since Nayla gets no character, we have more time for more hilarious antics with Till losing the CG egg. He books it to avoid taking responsibility for his screw-up, and allows the blame to go on a random baker named Lamb.
Let me think for a second. That would be public nuisance, disrupting an assembly, theft, property damage, reckless endangerment, and sending an innocent man to his death, on top of not giving a poop for his pop-pop. Our hero?
Till manages to smooth out the situation by replacing the CG egg with a real golden egg he pilfers, and gets rewarded with a bland meathead sidekick. At least the movie is an equal opportunist at treating characters like nothing.
Whoa! When do we eat?
Food. The only character trait for the noble fat ass.
But enough of this high-class tomfoolery, we need to introduce our villains of the picture. Evil Ant and Evil Knight. Because really, our story about a public nuisance being a jerkwad needs some serious drama to temper things. And their plan is most evil, to have the king, who turns out to be a kid, sign a bunch of bogus laws to get them all the monies from taxes. But might I inquire who's the real evil one in this scenario? The duo who created the laws, or the Kid King who's too much of a lazy brat to read them before stamping his approval.
There.
I'd argue the nanny, who knows full well that they are evil and the kid's got the brain capacity of a macadamia nut, and she doesn't even look over the laws for him.
But it's so very much to read.
Remember what your dear father used to say. We must always rise to the occasion.
There.
Back with Till, they reach Pop-Up's house to start the obviously unimportant task of, actually looking for him. And Cornelius tells Lamb and Till to look for Pop-Up's magic mirror, which should help in locating him. Till does so in the best way possible.
Watch out! Yeah!
Hey! What are you doing?
Where are you going? You're wrecking the party!
Oh God, the glass is everywhere! I taste it!
So with reckless stupidity, Till finds the magic mirror housing what else? A racist stereotype.
That is Snow White's mirror in another story. My cousin Glister who grabs the glory.
It's the magic mirror.
Ah, Germans and racial insensitivity. Nero wrote that joke.
I'm not gonna apologize.
My question is, why does the genie even have that accent when this is taking place with a German folk hero? And dubbed with an English-speaking voice actor. I get it, genies or jinn are Arabic in their source. But come on, you couldn't have done something less stereotypical? But besides that point, the genie tells the Twit trio that they need to do 3 tasks to find Till's Pop-Pop with the use of helpful pie charts.
The only way to get him back is a 3-fold quest for the things you lack. Concentration, courage, and commitment, you see, are needed for your victory.
Come on.
That's a fair reaction.
The first hint for concentration is stick to the job and never turn, which Till translates to go completely straight through the city streets on a horse and buggy, endangering countless people's lives. What job does that stick to? Vehicular manslaughter?
Yes. You know how he always likes to help people and make them happy?
Going back to the Burgermeister, we catch up with him and his gang of fat politicians, tearing apart all the free-spirit nameless ideas. And why?
You're a wonderful artist, but you're just a girl.
He's right. You're very pretty, but you shouldn't meddle in men's business.
Again, Dark Ages. I'm sorry.
But Nayla, for some reason, doesn't like being treated like crap, and during her pouting comes across Till, once again monkeying about, and ends up saving him, which of course Till hates her for.
Excuse me, but you spoiled my fun.
What are you talking about? I saved your life.
Why is Till mad at her? Is this just some sort of stupid two-way tsundere crap?
Tsundere, a Japanese term for a character who is initially cold, and sometimes even hostile, before gradually showing a warmer, friendlier side over time.
Apology?
I wanted to talk to this fellow who thinks it's funny to wreck my clock tower.
You should be the one to apologize. You slapped me. They're nice, but, where's the fun?
Give them back to me. I worked hard on those.
But I saved your life. That egotistical, arrogant, high-handed girl.
Oh, you spoiled my fun. If I ever see him again, I'll spoil his fun all right. I'll wring his scrawny neck.
Oh, just kiss already, you bakas.
Oh, really?
In olden times, this means romance. In modern times, though, this means sexual harassment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what did you do that for?
For that.
And that just means she wants them Jester Till, if you know what I'm saying. Oh! I'm sorry.
Back with the Kid King, he receives his presents from the townspeople, but all of them use killer CGI that almost murder him. Luckily, Till's egg lie turns out to be the best present of all. Personally, I thought the miniature cannons were a winner, but I guess a duck with the barely legal voice of Donald Duck is good too.
Quack! I want to see the town and the people who gave me this wonderful present.
Back to the actual plot, or lack thereof, the next step on their quest is for courage. So Till, Lamb, Nayla, and Nayla's cleavage buddy find a dark, spoopy cave, which after Till quirkily blows on a magic horn, raises the skeletons from Army of Darkness.
Wait, is that? It is! It's Till's Papa! Oh my! This is actually bringing something back from the beginning! My god! Will this finally create some semblance of narrative flow?
I guess that's not Grandpa.
So since pointless scene is pointless, they get the horn and escape. Till hands off the horn to Nayla, cleavage just fades out of the movie entirely, and Nayla blows the horn in the genie's face, signaling the end of part 2 of the quest. Then we're on to the final trial, the trial of commitment, as Till and Lamb go off somewhere. I guess to show their commitment of being aimless? At the same time, the Kid King is on his way to visit Till's town, but the villains are there to kill him and his nanny to usurp the throne. Hilarious. But wait, the Kid King isn't here. Where is he? Why, he's meeting up with Till and Lamb. By the powers that be, what are the odds these three guys would be taking a leak in the woods and just happen to run into each other? I don't know, but now the villains can't kill the king because they have witnesses? Why not just kill them all right here? You had no problems killing the useless nanny.
Why not just kill them all? It makes no sense to leave them alive when everyone involved is part of your coup and there are only 3 witnesses you have to get rid of. It makes no sense.
Oh, trust me, logic is not our friend here.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at Alpha and Omega for a positive of critiquing this movie. Is this how far we've fallen?
Now, following the obtuse quest wording, Till convinces the Kid King to switch places so that the king can see what his people really think of him from a citizen perspective, and so that Till can act as the fake king for a bit.
Okay, we went from saving Pop Pop to a royal coup, and now Prince and the Pauper. Did Till Eulenspiegel write this script? Does the prince at least get some sort of arc to learn some sort of moral lesson by the end of all this, so that this isn't as superfluous as it feels?
What do we think of the king? He's the most awful, terrible, rotten, disgusting, corrupt, hateful, cruel.
I'll take it, I guess.
But taking a few steps forward, we now have King Till and Boomstat stepping onto the stage to continue his buffoonery. That is until the villains out Till as a fake and frame him for the murder of the true king, which leads to this remarkably perfect scene.
I've never seen this pauper before in my life!
Hilarious.
But I do find it interesting that this entire kingdom had no idea what their king looked like. They addressed early in the movie that the kid took over for his father who died, and they know that it was a young king that they had. So wouldn't there have been sweeping news that the prince heir to the throne had taken reign of the kingdom and they, would have pictures around of him? So Till and the Kid King are placed in jail to await their execution. And as they wait, the guards let in a very love interest looking priest to talk to Till and the King. And this is when the animators start to give a crap. Seriously, the majority of the movie is this garbage 3D shaded shadow crap, but now it's all Apocalypse Till. And this is the movie that had this in its opening act.
That's some high class art right there. A+.
Obviously, Nayla reveals herself to Till and promises to prove their innocence. But as morning comes, the Kid King and Till face the executioner, who is luckily a disguised lamb. Yes, it seems Lamb has snuck into the role of executioner, which you'd think would be checked by the guards, but meh. Lamb then secretly hands the hanging duo the Kid King's original egg present, which proves definitively he's the true king. And you wanna know how they got the egg back? Well, it seems everybody was asking the Mirror Man to help them save Till and the King, but he didn't answer anybody. Except for...
Quackity quackity wick quack quack. Wickety wickety quick quack quack.
Donald. Thank you.
But even with that, the ant calls for their hanging, until NERO arrives, bringing with her the Herald of the Plot convenience.
Yes, and he will now officially declare that I am the heiress to the crown and the new queen. Speak up, Royal Herald.
Okay, in all seriousness to the actual narrative structure of this movie. What do you think he's gonna answer? He's the Royal Herald of the Court, and the real king is right there! What do you think he's gonna answer?
I officially declare that Lady Katarina is not the queen!
What? No. Who could have saw that coming? Now the jig is up for the villains, and we enter the final showdowns, as Till and Nilla face the ant and Lamb fights the knight. But both duels end rather quickly and abruptly, as through sexual harassment and teasing, Till sends the ant falling off the tower into a wagon of poo. Oh, one of the few jokes to actually ref in Till Eulenspiegel's humor style. Wait, that's garbage.
Oh, you gotta be careful, movie. You almost referenced the source material there.
But oh no, looks like time's up on finding Pop Pop. Remember him? He was the MacGuffin to start this whole fiasco. Well, good news, that tension is gone right away as Pop Pop just sort of pops out of nowhere. Because he was the Grim Reaper on the clock tower the whole time. And the duck made him sneeze, which was the answer to the final clue.
Marcus, you were right. Till did make the people happy.
Ah, you see? My magic always works, just not quite the way I planned.
Look, stories are primarily led by coincidence. Whether it be the coincidence of finding your one true love in a chance meeting, or finding a clue that'll inspire you to go on a treasure hunt. The coincidence is a cornerstone of writing narrative structure. But this is the prime example of when the coincidence goes too far.
When it becomes less about following a through line between naturally occurring coincidences, and more just random disconnected set pieces that you can see are connected only because the writers flubbed up and need the narrative to go that way. It makes the story feel like nothing is being accomplished until it just goes boop, end of movie now. As a film adaptation, Jester Till has a good concept. A more comical Robin Hood type. And when I mean more Robin Hood type, I mean I even found an image from a book where he sports the same famous Robin Hood beard stash combo. Till is meant to use clowning and comedy to fight against oppression. Till's character had the makings of a very funny and sincere fool, much like the original folktales. Not to mention, we already have examples of trickster characters being charming and funny, namely Bugs Bunny or Deadpool. And Till had some decency when it came to the slow scene in jail.
Father, my word probably doesn't mean much. I failed at everything. I haven't been able to help my grandfather when he needed me so desperately. And now the king and I, we're gonna die.
If the whole movie captured that amount of emotion in that one scene, then this really could have been good.
But other than that, there's a whole lot wrong with Jester Till. Starting with the animation.
For a movie purported to have a £50 million budget, do you expect effects and CG like this? I wouldn't. I'd expect my money back. And similarly funded European movies like Leap and A Monster in Paris are visually leagues above anything Jester Till did. It has no excuse to have CG this bad. But that's just aesthetic fluff. When you focus on the main issues, namely the cardboard, bland, and inconsistent characters, and the disjointed and unconnected narrative, you see this movie is just a hodgepodge. But the coup de grace is Till himself, who is honestly and simply a jerk. He shows very little care for his grandpa, and he seems either too dumb to realize the situation he's in, or too much of a disconnected sociopath as a person to be made a likable protagonist. With the grandpa elements in play, the story could have explored Till's family connections and what he will do to get his own family back. Alternatively, the idea of the coup works because it can't be an arc of Till starting off self-absorbed and selfish, but learns to become the Till of legend by developing him into a kinder, gentler person while using his buffoonery to save the day. Both narratives work to suit Till as a leading man, but neither one is done proper, making for a jumbled mess and just an unlikable character with no emotional attachment.
And for such a stupid piece of garbage, what do I think could have saved it? Well, it needed to, first and foremost, make us care for the tales of Jester Till.
This was the time to make Till shine with its thematic strength of the lower class taking jabs at the upper class. That is what the original folktales were known for. But because this movie's tale is just so unlikable, annoying, and self-serving, it undermines essentially German clown Robin Hood. Folk heroes are as grand as any mythological figure out there. From the tales of King Arthur to Robin Hood, and yes, even Till Eulenspiegel. Folk heroes have points. Our defiant fool deserved a celebration to his legend. This is just a bummer to see the potential of a lesser known folk hero being introduced to other countries, and that potential squandered. It's like Scooby-Doo and the Monster of Mexico. Oh, a movie about the Day of the Dead and the Chupacabra? That sounds great, doesn't it?
Sounds like Halloween.
Exactly.
What should be a means to share a culture, even in a simple sense, becomes a total flop that seems to utterly fail at celebrating this classic folk hero.
And it makes me fear, what will happen to Till Eulenspiegel? Are we just mentally above any sort of scatological tomfoolery? Are we that pompous upper class that Till would fight against with his jokes and crassness? It makes me worry.
Hey, Obnoxious, do you want to play Goose the Moose? Sure, how do you play it? Well, you wear this blindfold, and I'll hold this picture of a moose, and all you gotta do is poke its booty, and you win! Yeah, let's do it! Okay! Get ready, go! Get ready, Moose, I'm gonna goose ya! Oh! That's not the moose's booty! That's not the moose's booty at all! Yeah, it's not.
You know what? I think Till is gonna be just fine. I'm WHYBOY, and this has been Cartoon Corner. Bye-bye.
I feel everything! Thanks for watching. If you liked this episode of Cartoon Corner, please give that tiny bell a little tap to keep up with more ToonGrin goodies here on YouTube, and feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on ToonGrin.com. You can also support us via Patreon or TeePublic. Links are in the description below. And as always...
Hi, I'm Linkara from atop the fourth wall. Tune in to ToonGrin, or I'll make you not grin.